Hi everyone, Jolene here from Chill Lifestyle. So today's reading is going to be, I'm going to do a pick a card so that, because there's obviously different people, we're all at different ends of the journey. If you hear a humming in the background, it's the fan. I just, with the heat that we're experiencing, if I don't have this fan, I'll probably faint. So I do apologize for it. Anyway, end of the year, let's find out what do you need to know? Is anything changing? Next year, there's going to be a lot of changes. As I explained before, could be tough for some people. And again, it's not a punishment. It's the fact that we have to all change, okay? So for a lot of us who are refusing change, you might have a few abruptions this month, irritations, things that are annoying you, because it's there to remind you that there is something. Remember, no one can trigger you unless you allow them. It's no one's job to make you happy. It is your job to make yourself happy. And if that means you have to call back and cut your cords and set boundaries with other people, then you're going to feel that uncomfortable in this until you do so, okay? I also saw a nice video yesterday, and I remember thinking, wow, this needs to be shared. So, a lady who was treated really badly by someone could have chosen to be just as nasty back to them, and she didn't. Instead, she decided to understand why this person was the way that they were, and she used love and compassion as a response. Now, that for me is really wow, because often we forget that hurt people hurt people. Now, I'm not giving people an excuse to hurt you, but I am saying your job is to decide how you respond, and maybe try to see them through the eyes of compassion and not through judgment, okay? Try to see everyone's situation from more of a, what must have happened to you to make you act that way? What are you going through right now that makes you be so nasty and so ugly, okay? And that is just the way, it's a great time for giving. Christmas is a time for giving. And if obviously not all of us have money to give, and that's okay, your time. Sometimes when someone's going through a hard time, they don't really want you to come in and fix everything for them. Some people, a genuine person who's genuinely going through a hard time, just want your company. They just want you to sit there, to listen to them, to hear them. I mean, obviously we're not talking about someone who's draining and someone who's using you. You've got to, again, understand the boundaries. Someone's continuously, woe is me, then maybe it's time to assert a boundary. But if they're genuinely not asking for your opinion, if they're genuinely not asking for your help, and all they're wanting is maybe for you to sit there, grab a bottle of wine, a cup of coffee, a tub of ice cream, sit down with them and just hear them out, because sometimes that's all they want. It's just a sympathetic ear, okay? And again, if there's overdoing it, then you need to step the boundary and say, look, I can't help you anymore. You're refusing all angles, and you can decide on whether this person's worth having in your life. And of course, like I say, I'm not to say that you must put up with someone else's bad behavior, but just to try and understand why they are the way that they are, assert the boundary in place, but at the same time, try to be compassionate, okay, if you can. So, that's the best gift you can actually give. Not everyone can afford to pay you back. Someone might never ever be able to pay you back for the kindness, and that's the point of being kind. Sometimes you can never pay someone else back for their kindness, okay? But there will come a day where someone else will show that kindness to you, because we need to remember the wheel's always changing. When you see the wheel of fortune and tarot, it kind of means whatever you've been going through, this fate is stepping in to change your life, okay? And sometimes you have to go through the downs, because it makes you appreciate and think about, when you're losing money, you think about all the money that you wasted, how much handbags and shoes, and and those were all ego-driven things that we've had. The real truth is, having a roof over your head, and maybe you have to move in with your family, or things like that in order to do so, and your ego has to drop right now during the tough times, to know and be determined to get through that, to push yourself forward towards the better times, okay? The wheel always moving, doesn't stay down and it doesn't stay up. So when things are up, put away for the good days, remember and appreciate what you have, so when the wheel is down, remember your hard times, remember to give to people, understand what it feels like to go through that, so where the wheel is up again. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the cycle. You know, there's always lessons every day. You're not here to have a good life. If you think you're here to just enjoy the life, think again. This is school. You're at school. School, you got to learn. School, you got to suffer. You got to study. You got to spend long hours and hours and hours. If not, you fail. And when you fail, you got to do it again and do it again and do it again. So think that is life. So every person that comes into your life, they're there to teach you a lesson, good and bad. So let's see what is really coming through. I am doing 2025 readings. I don't do fortune telling readings because most of it is up to you. But what I can do is I look at astrology. I need your time, your date of birth, where you were born, and then I have a look at the months, how astrology is going to impact your life. In other words, where your lucky period is, where your negative periods is, what struggles you're going to go through 2025. I kind of look at that. I look at patterns. I also use some cards. So it's not a necessary, oh, in June you're going to meet your soulmate. No, it's but what you have to do. What do you have to do? I put the ball back in your court, and I'm also a coach to teach you how to take full responsibility for your life, for your ups, for your downs, and recognize why you are going through what you are going through and what you need to do. Okay. Anyway, link is in bio. You can email me, and the prices are down below. Have a fantastic year. I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye. So these are the 3 piles, your 3 pile selections. We've got 3 little or 2 bubbles and a pine cone in the center. Okay, so pile number 1 is the red bubble. Pile number 2 is the little pine cone, and pile number 3 is the yellow bubble. So ask your spirit team to please come in, call them in and say, please give me an accurate reading so that you know what you want to hear or need to hear. I will do 1 or 2 cards for the beginning of 2025 as well. So pause the video, take your time. You don't need to rush. Make sure your energy is clear. Go outside, take a couple of deep breaths. Make sure you are clear, you're in a good space, and come back and sit down and do your selection. I'll see you at the selection. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1 or the red bubble, this is your reading. So the first thing we want to know, pile number 1, is what has been your biggest lesson? Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards and then I'll get through to them. So we want to know, Spirit, please tell us for pile number 1. So I'm shuffling behind because I can't lean forward. It's very hot and humid here in Durban. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a couple of cards and then we'll talk about it. So we've got 3, Archangel Gabriel. Now I want to call for your biggest obstacle for 2024. What was your biggest obstacle in 2024? The Willow card. What was your biggest, let's think, what was your big, I think I did the first one was your lesson. The second one will be your obstacle. What was the best thing that happened to you in 2024? Now, this may not even be something that you agree to, but what is the best thing that's happened to you in 2024? And how is 2024 going to end for pile number 1? How is 2024 going to end for pile number 1? And give me 1 card that will give me the theme for 2025. What is the biggest theme for 2025 for pile number 1? Wow. Okay. So what I'm getting, pile number 1, is your biggest lesson for this year was learning to use your intuition in order to communicate. Okay. Maybe you felt disconnected from your intuition. Maybe you do things and then be quite upset later as to why you've done it.
and you needed to learn how to connect deeper to your intuition in order to communicate better. Now, for some of you, okay, not all, you are in marketing or book publishing, something to do with communication. Okay, so you work in publishing, you work in a communication company, and perhaps again you've had to use your intuition to guide you, because terminologies and internet and all of that just change on a daily basis. Social media just keeps adjusting, it keeps changing, and you constantly having to move around. And so your biggest lesson this year was to learn how to use your intuition to guide you through these challenges. Your biggest challenge this year with the Willow card there was really saying that you needed to learn to stand tall and bright and to take on all the challenges that are thrown at you. The willow tree survives all seasons. The willow tree survives all harsh weather. So if you can stand tall no matter what's thrown at you, okay, so you might have had a lot of things testing you this year. You might have thought to yourself, wow, I'm constantly being tested. That's because the willow tree is here to show you that you are actually stronger than what you thought. So maybe you think, I can't do that. I'm not strong enough. You ask for strength, you get situations that give you the strength. Okay. So it's like a sick kind of thing, unfortunately, but the universe goes, oh, you want to be strong? Okay, well, we'll throw you into the situations where you don't feel like you'll survive. And then you turn around and look back and go, wow, I survived my worst fears. Okay, so the good thing about that is that it teaches you no matter what is happening in your world or in your life, you will survive whatever is thrown at you. Okay, so it's a lesson, and it's been the challenge for this year, but it's also a good lesson. What is the good thing for this year? Well, you kind of had to learn how to celebrate life. You had to learn, perhaps maybe for a lot of you, your childhood. 444 was on the clock, so I'm just telling you just to look up the angel number 444. If you keep seeing 444, then this is guaranteed that this reading is for you. You were asked the biggest good thing about this year. You were either, maybe you have children, and you had to kind of see things through a childlike eye or a childlike view. You had to learn, maybe you got people around you and had to learn what true love is compared to what it's not. Maybe you've got children or grandchildren around who have shown you how to appreciate the smallest things in life, how to celebrate life without money or without fancy cars or fancy clothing. Maybe you were keeping up with the Joneses and needed validation, an outside source of validation, and children had to teach you how to almost be grounded and how to just be happy with the insects and watching butterflies. And children see the magic, and as adults we lose that magic, and it's quite sad. We're getting into Christmas time. It's a perfect time where it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, it's still very magical. Everywhere you go there's beautiful colors and there's lights and there's just so many activities celebrating. Again, it doesn't have to be a religious thing, because in all honesty there's different versions of Christmas. There is the pagan Yule, which a lot of people say, that's where you get your Christmas tree from and your pine cones. It came from Yule, which was the pagan belief in, celebration of Yule and their god and goddesses surrounding that era. If you're Christian, obviously it's the celebration of Jesus. But it doesn't really matter your religion, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are. It's magic everywhere. There's always Christmas trees and there's always lights and everything. And children are like super excited this time of the year. So that is the lesson, and the good thing maybe for you. Maybe you don't realize that it's actually God's gift to you was for you to realize that, I don't need all this stuff. I just needed to go out and have fun and enjoy life for the little that it is. How will your year end? Well, the Queen of Forces is an interesting one here. It ends with you. Again, there's this standing tall, standing strong, realizing that you have it within you to do whatever you need to do. It is about boundaries, releasing old soul contracts, past lives, anything that is not in alignment with yourself. But now it kind of, there's this receptivity and this creativity. It's like, again, we go back to the lesson of the year, which was using your intuition in order to be creative. So you've now learned that balance of understanding how to be more in tune with yourself, how to be more balanced. Maybe again, if you're a parent, you had to balance your day and night and try and figure out how I'm going to work during the day but still spend time with my children. You know, there's always that. I kind of feel like you'll feel by the end of this year that that lesson has been learned and you've managed to overcome that challenge. Moving into next year, you've got setting your course. So that's great. You know, there are 3 people in a ship, so there could be you moving next year, or you could be expanding your horizon. You could be looking at, we've got a rainbow there, which is great, because that kind of means the good news is your storm is done. You could be traveling next year. You know, ships take us places, it's traveling. Setting your course. So it's kind of, he has got his telescope out and he is zooming in to try and find, where am I going to go? So you may right now have this feeling of, I'm ready, you know, I've got new projects going, I know what I'm doing, I can balance my time, I can take on new things, I can handle whatever's thrown at me. But you broaden your scope. You may be looking at a different place to live. You may be broadening a different country, but you're no longer looking in one area. You know, broadening your scope is not focusing in on, like, just say, for example, you've always done social media and now you're starting to look into other versions. Maybe you're looking into writing. Maybe you're looking into broadening your scope, because you start to realize with AI, you can no longer just do the one job. Okay, maybe you're looking at a totally different aspect for yourself, something that's more creative, something that's more open, something that's more intuitive, and you're going to be broadening your scope. You're going to be thinking more about how to do things. You're no longer narrowing your abilities next year. Okay, you could be opening a business, something to do with travel or something like that. Okay, so let's pull a card for you. I'm just pulling a romance card for those who are interested in romance. Okay, I'm already starting to sweat. Look, funny enough, we've got 2 cards of children here. Okay, your love life has been affected by children. So again, sorry if it's humming, I can't help it. It's just, it's, if you live in Durban, you'll know what I mean. It's super humid. So children may be affecting your love life. Okay, so if you in a relationship, your children may be causing a lot of problems, or maybe, you know, you've had to put your focus more on your kids, and that's okay. Okay, for others, it could be saying that your inner child as well has been needing a little bit of healing, and so maybe perhaps you need to try and figure out, again, with the Queen of Forces, it's learning how to balance and say, okay, cool, I can nurture my inner child or children and still have a love life. Okay, but it's, I will put so much time and energy and effort, and this is also into your anything you want to bring. Children are young energies, so anything you want to start, it's about, okay, I can balance my budget. 1111's just come up, so could be a twin flame for some. I need to balance my budget in order to move forward. There's something about balancing your day and night. You know, during the day, again, I'll do all this, and then at night time I'll put the time aside for love or business or passion. Okay, I'll pull one more for the romance angels. Make the effort. Okay, so, and it's funny, we've got children in both cards, so there is also this real, and at the bottom of the deck we do have calling in your soulmate. So there's this real sense of childhood, lust, love, fun, giggling, you know. So if your love life has not been great, or you've been single and you can't find anything, you need to kind of feel, again, going back to that childhood card in the beginning of, I'm going to try and make my life as fun as possible. I'm going to go back to childhood and find that fun and awe in the small things, not needing to compare myself to other people, but rather just to have a lot of joy and fun, and to make the effort, okay, because great love is worth taking the effort you're guided to do, especially if you're trying to manifest a soulmate or you're in a soulmate relationship but you want to make it better. Right, let's get one of these oracle cards. Boundaries, that's perfect. See, same. Look how she's, okay, here she's a little bit more open. You know, the hand gestures there. This one, she's a lot more determined. But we still have someone who's standing in the middle, like a feminine that's standing there. But look how everyone's trying to grab a piece of her. This time, she's a lot more stern. Okay, she's a lot more, okay. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So in that card, you know, she's definitely a lot more adamant that she's going to do something with her life, but she's going to push people who are grabbing at her. And again, you know, it's pretty much okay to say to someone in your life who's overstepping your boundaries to say, you know what, I'm pushing back. Okay, okay, sorry, I'm just trying to see. Okay, so I'm going to go, as I said, sneak peek into 2025 card, because most of this year is done. So let's do a sneak peek into the setting the course. Okay, let's take some cards to clarify what area or in what way is your life going to be expanding, or are you going to be looking into different areas for your life for 2025. So there's an opportunity you may feel like you're missing out on, okay? So upright, you're not really interested in the opportunities. Look, I mean, but one of these opportunities is actually divinely guided. So this can be jobs, this can be love, this can be, places to live. It's kind of like he's folded his hands, he's not interested in what's being offered. Okay, so already you've had 3 job applications and they're just like, oh, this is not what I want. One of these is divinely guided. Okay, it's coming from the divine. Look, you know, that puff is really God's hand coming out and you haven't noticed it. Okay, when it's reversed, you notice it. So what happens is this may be something that's coming around again, or something for you that you bypassed. You didn't think it was going to be worth it. God's saying, again, with a telescope, to zoom in. Telescopes, again, it zooms into areas where you can't see. So he's saying, go back and relook at something. Okay, there's something you need to relook at. So it could be a business plan, a hobby, or something. Okay, I'm getting a lot of creativity in this palm. Okay, let me get another card for next year, sneak peek. But I do feel like you need to zoom in, laser focus. There could be 3 people involved, because there's 3. It's funny, 3, and then there's 3 cups. There could have been like a third party interference, which may no longer happen. I don't know what, as I said, everyone's in a different boat, but it just kind of feels like you need to go back and relook at something, because one of those options is actually a gift from God. Let me get another card. Wow, Sun card, that's the happiest card in the deck. And we've got another child here. You know, for a lot of you, maybe you've been wanting to bring in children. Okay, there's some kind of child that's coming in 2025. There's definitely something about children or child. Again, it's your inner child, finding that inner child. You know, if you'd like, well, there's no ways for me, you know, I'm not having children now, or grandchildren or anything like that, then this is saying that it's time for you to find that inner child again, you know, because clearly it's missing. This opportunity, whatever it is that you missed, it's going to bring you happiness. Okay, it's definitely going to bring you happiness. Wow, look at that, and passion. So look, this is another hand. Look how the cloud, this cloud that's bringing in that cup, it's bringing in, it's coming again. There's a second chance. You sabotaged this situation. So you saw it, you thought, nah, I can't do this, or nah, that's not for me. Nah, you know, that person's just not, I don't see it working out. Well, best you go back and have another look. Okay, I'm going to get one more card for 2025. Wow, look at that. Maybe you tried to control the situation. You thought, okay, for some of you, this is a sign it's time for you to boss up, because if you boss up in the situation, if you take control and boss up and give the situation, this could be a father, this could be a masculine, a divine masculine for some of you, or this could be you becoming the boss, okay? The Ten of Pentacles tells me you will be very successful, okay? You have every opportunity to be successful in this opportunity, the situation, whatever it is for you, whether it is a twin flame, your divine masculine, or whether this is you becoming a boss, taking or starting your own business, you will be successful, okay? The Ten of Pentacles is that of success, it's that of great fortune, it's that of great stability, okay? I'm going to take one card just in case it is a twin flame for those of you who are looking. So for 2025, if they go back to this opportunity, tell me about this opportunity. You see, you deserve love, you are lovable. So you maybe didn't think, and look at the bottom of the deck. I have to laugh when, and it says true love. This romance is one of a lifetime. So again, this is real true love, okay? You and this person share, or will share, a love that's never, like you've never known. It's true love. This person will see all your flaws and still love you. This person, because for some unknown reason, you don't think that you are lovable. You don't think that you deserve love. So maybe you've been taught in the past that you are not lovable, you don't deserve love. And spirit guides are saying, wow, that's why you sabotaged it, because you didn't believe. And even if this is not about love, either which way, you did not believe you deserved this. You did not believe that you could become your own boss. You did not believe that you could be wealthy. You have sabotaged your opportunities in the past. And next year, there's a chance for you to have it back. You need to grab it with both hands and take it, okay? Because this year, your biggest lesson was learning how to communicate better, learning how to use your intuition better, learning that no matter what life throws at you, you will withstand the bad weather, you will withstand the storm, learning how to appreciate the little things in life and to love and enjoy life the way a child does and to see the magic, and learning how to create more balance, because next year your focus has to be different than this year. And it's up to you. Again, I can only give you the reading. You need to take control. You need to step up and you need to lead. Okay, that's what I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you. Comment, like, and subscribe, and goodbye. Welcome if you chose the pound cone or pile number 2. So, pile number 2, first of all, I do apologize for the slight humming in the background. It's a fan. The humidity is just so bad. Anyway, so what we're going to have a look at, I want to know, for pile number 2, what was their biggest lesson for 2024? So let's have a look at what was your biggest lesson this year. I'm just going to get all the cards out, obviously, and then we'll have a look. So for pile number 2, for those who have chosen pile number 2, please, Spirit. What was the biggest lesson for this pile for this year? What was the biggest lesson? We've got the Akashic Field. What was the biggest challenge for pile number 2 this year? What was the biggest challenge for pile number 2? What was their biggest challenge? What was their biggest challenge? Scribe. What was the biggest blessing for this year? What was the biggest blessing for this year? Wow, I had some. Interesting. How is this year going to end for pile number 2? How is this year going to end for pile number 2? And I want one card to represent the theme for 2025 for pile number 2, please. What is the theme for pile number 2 for 2025? Okay, interesting. Right, so pile number 2. Your biggest lesson for this year was realizing that the truth lies within you. Okay. You may have struggled this year in sense of learning. You may have struggled this year in the sense of perhaps just giving it to some of you, putting it out there, publishing, writing, gaining knowledge. I kind of feel like it was a year for you where it was a year for learning. Okay. So whether it's just the mind, learning, gaining knowledge, or whether it's actual studies, everyone's different. But this was definitely a year that challenges you in the sense of learning, because you didn't realize that all the information that you were looking for an outside source to give you was actually within you already. You've always had the answers that you have always needed. Perhaps you just battled to see it, but it's definitely been there, okay? And sometimes what you were needing to do with the Adsam card, which is your biggest blessing, which is interesting, was, and I suppose let me bring the card and then you can understand. Look how many people you're surrounded by. You have got a grandmother or a mother in spirit, a grandmother or a father in spirit. You've got your guardian angel. You're surrounded by the most beautiful, loving fairies. And then you've got a man standing there that's bringing in books again. We've got books, knowledge, scrolls. So this is saying to me, like, for example, you may have a lot of ancient wisdom. Okay, maybe this year you're learning things that a part of you already knew, because you've got this ancient wisdom. And you've got all these people in spirit that are talking to you, trying to get your attention. But look how she's got the book, but she's not looking. Okay, so your biggest blessing this year was perhaps again, you've been distracted easily. You've been distracted by social media. You've been distracted by friends, gossip, love triangles, something, or just love life. You've been quite distracted from your work. And your work this year was really to gain, the scribe. So the scribe is all, so many years, ancient times, okay, to be a scribe, you were carefully selected. These were scholars that, funny, pile number 1 had 444, and I've just been seeing 444, so it's another sign for you. So maybe for some of you, you've checked, maybe you like pile 1 and 2. You've got this ancient knowledge, because for scribes were very highly intelligent people. There weren't many people that could write. Writing was not a very big thing, and very few people, and that's why the stories that we have today, whether it was history, whether it was the biblical stories, whether it's the poetry from back in those days, came from 1 or 2 people. So that's why it's difficult for us to establish how much of it is true and how much of it is not, because you're only getting, it's like you're getting the reporter's version. Okay, we don't have things like today, like books and other people writing and scholars to the degree that we have today. It was very few selected people that were capable of writing and entrusted with the scribes. Okay, that's how you get the biblical writings today. You get it because of the scribes, and all ancient writings came from scribes. So again, there's this ancient knowledge that's so deep within you. The Akashic field says that maybe perhaps you need to do some meditations into the Akashic library. The Adsam is here to say, kind of feel like your blessings was maybe perhaps some of these distractions were taken away from you. So maybe you have been taken away, or friends have been taken away, or breakups have had to happen because they needed you to, the word Adsam is, to kind of get you to concentrate, because again, you've got knowledge, you've got information that you are needing to learn. Okay, there's a hell of a lot here in pile number 2 of book writing. There's a hell of a lot here about marketing and knowledge and getting that knowledge out. Okay, and your distractions had to be taken away. So if you felt like, well, I don't know why I've been so alone, and why I've been moved away from everyone, or why other people have been moved away from me, or why did I have to lose people, because we do have, people that are passed on. Perhaps you've been dealing with a passing on this year. It's because these people were too much of a distraction. You needed to study, you needed to learn, you needed to gain the knowledge, and you need to use the words adsam I am here, and go back to your studies, go back to your gaining this information, because it's really important to next year. Okay, you don't understand it yet, you will get it, and when you do get it, you're going to go, aha. Okay, right now you may not feel it, you may be feeling very agitated because you've been left alone. Now it's going to end because you've been dealing with someone who, again, has not been fair. This person is, it's my way or the highway. And I kind of feel like this year's going to end where you have to now learn through the knowledge how to either learn to distract or move away from this person. Okay, because it's going to get to the point where you're going to realize that this person really has no interest in your betterment. This person has only their self-interest and what they're going to gain out of it. Okay, so if this person leaves your life, understand that this is actually a blessing, because this person was a distraction. Anyone who leaves your life, any jobs that you lose, any jobs is also, you're a slave to someone else. You're too intelligent to be working for other people. Okay, you're too intelligent to be dealing with other people because you've got a lot of knowledge. And next year, the reason why I'm saying this, the Queen of Scrolls, now you need to step up next year. Male or female does not matter, because the scribe, those are the people that are writing it. The Queen of Scrolls is now her job to publish these books, and she needs to make sure she gets the right information out there. Her job is to now market these books. So this is publishing, marketing. Even if you think to yourself, well, no, I can't do that. Maybe you need to talk to people. Maybe you need to, because marketing is really about selling up, leveling up communication. So maybe you need to start communicating. Maybe you need to get a channel like this, or and tell people this knowledge that you have got within you. Okay, so this is quite a, if this does not sound like your pile, then go back to the beginning, because this is clearly not your reading. Okay, this is a good indication as to whether you've chosen the right pile or not. Okay, so for love life, worth waiting for, divine timing is at work again. Your love life, you couldn't get your, and the bottom of the deck, true love. So interesting. Pile number 1 and 2 often I have an interlink. So some of you just, there's a message for both of you in both piles. What you are wanting will be worth the wait. Doesn't matter if this is love or not. It kind of feels like it's been pulled back. It's kept away from you. This can even be money. Not getting what you are wanting this year has been a blessing, because it will distract you. You'll be wanting to spend money. You'll be wanting to do things with money. You've been wanting to go on holiday, and Spirit have said no. You need to concentrate. So money would have been a distraction, or love would have been a distraction, or true love would have been a distraction. Maybe perhaps you need to break up with someone first in order to get this true love, and that true love will be worth it. Okay, for others, it's just, it wasn't the time for this true love to come in. Okay, because again, you've got better things to do with your life. So let's get another card. And by the end of this year, I just kind of feel like you're going to get to the point where you are done. You're done with this person. You're done with their selfishness. You're done with their ways. You need to figure out whether this person should stay in your life or not. And if they are going to be staying in your life, what role are they going to take, or how you're going to handle them, because it's got to be you. The Queen of Scrolls is very positive. She's very outgoing. She's very intelligent. She knows her worth, and she's not going to take the selfishness anymore. See, protection. I love it when the cards just repeat themselves. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Again, you are way too intelligent to be dealing with this drama, with this dramatic, emotionally manipulative people. These people who just grab at you and just want your energies and, care about what they're going to get. What about me and me and me? No, call back your power. You need to stand up in your power. The Queen of Scrolls is very powerful. She's very attractive. She's very outgoing. Again, doesn't matter about the sex, It's about the energy of, no, I'm not doing it. These people are just, I'm not seeing it. I'm not doing it. I'm folding my light. Look at this, divinely orchestrated. Again, you've got helpers surrounding you right now. The Council of Light are trying to give you information. You've got way more important things to deal with right now than these selfish people. Okay, Spirit wants you to know that stop overthinking, face your true north. You're already doing it. Whatever you are doing, it is right. You are not wrong. Okay. So now that we've gone that, let's do a little sneak peek again. This is just a sneak peek. If you're wanting a full 2025 reading, you can contact me. A sneak peek into this Queen of Scrolls. What does this Queen of Scrolls mean for you? So again, this could be different for different people. Yeah, I kind of feel like your emotions have been all over the place, and you had to learn how to kind of add some. It's like, I'm not going to get distracted when drama happens or bad things happen or things break down or negative stuff starts happening around me. Add some means you need to save. So write the words add some down, because every time something happens, you've been told add some, stop, wait, and think. For some of you, sorry, I have to go back to it because it's just come to me. I kind of forgot with the scribe card. For some of you, there is legal papers. The scroll is also about legal papers. There could be legal papers you've been waiting for. Okay, and it may be for some of you a passing. Someone passed on. Maybe it's an inheritance, property. Legal papers could be a divorce, property. So sorry. Hopefully I haven't lost someone due to not seeing that, but if you're still here, maybe that might also make sense for you. There could be legal papers or something that had to happen, and it's a gift from someone who's passed is what I'm getting. Okay, right, so maybe you had to wait for that, and again, it was because it would have been a distraction. You needed to focus. So the sooner you stop being distracted by social media and drama and outside people who are really in for their own gain, and this doesn't have to be someone in your life. The War of the Roses is just, it could be, your president, it could be your, it's anyone who's distracting you from gaining this knowledge. Okay, oh no, these are all way too many cards. Way too many cards, and they're all in reverse, which tells me, interestingly enough, okay, I'm kind of just going to go through them because I kind of feel like this is something you may be going through. So we've got the Lovers in reverse, we've got the Ten of Cups in reverse, you've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I just kind of feel, again, it's got to do with this War of Roses. For some of you, not for all of you. This War of Roses is just, again, realizing that someone you were dealing with, this could be a love interest, a family member, someone that you put a lot of time, energy, and effort, but this person's let you down. This person's maybe perhaps it's all about the money, or it's all about them. I just kind of feel like there's someone that you're going to realize, wow, this person is just all about themselves. I thought this person was my soulmate, but actually this person's quite selfish. This person's not my soulmate. I thought this person was my family, and now I realize, wow, this person really, there's some kind of argument or fight, or just my way or the highway, selfishness, someone who's really just been about themselves. Okay, so I'm really feeling like that may be toppling over, or you're going to get some kind of truth about this person and realize, there's just this realization that, wow, this person really is just selfish, and there's going to bring change and fate. Right, 2025, Queen of Scrolls, let's get into it. Tell me about this Queen of Scrolls for 2025 theme. That's the theme for 2025. Now, this could be a love interest for some of you. Okay, if you're looking for love, this could be a love interest, a person that's coming in. This person is someone who's very creative, someone who's good in marketing, this person who is publishing, book publishing. It could be about that. Or it could be a friend. It could be someone who's coming to help you. Or this could be you. Okay, so take whatever resonates. Whatever way, it just feels like it's I do kind of feel like this is a part where you needing to be a lot more confident within yourself, at the least. Okay. Yeah, something, you're going to have a feather in your cap. Again, there's this, I've got a feather in my cap to do something. Okay. I want to do something. I have this curiosity about something, about someone. And it's something that feels like it could be barren, but it's got potential, because if you look here, it's a desert. Nothing really grows in the desert. And here's this rod, wood, tree, that you start to realize, wow, there's like this inkling of something that's growing, something that you didn't think would happen. You'll start to see seedlings. and it's going to give you a feather in your cap. So you might hear news. We do have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom again, so it could be an inheritance money, and I just kind of feel like you're going to go, wow, I can do something with this. Okay, whatever it is. For the rest of you, it's a job, it's a career move. It's something where a small investment leads to something better. That's what I'm kind of getting, but you're going to get a feather in your cap about something, about that. Okay, so for some of you, it is a love interest. It's a soulmate. For others, this is something that's just, it's the perfect thing for you. Perfect business opportunity, perfect friendship, perfect college, country, housing, something, okay? It brings unity. It brings people together, okay? The worst case. And at the bottom of the deck, the Devil card tells me, so it could be a Capricorn, it could be, it just could be, I just kind of really feel like it's just after something toxic leaves your life, okay? Give me another card for 2025 for pile number 2. Wow. Yeah, again, I feel like something was just stagnant. It stayed still. It didn't move forward. And the leap of faith in the Fool card states, sometimes it was testing your faith. Everyone can go to their place of church, religion, synagogue, whatever, temple, and state that they are religious. And you can walk around with all your god and goddesses, whoever you believe in, all over the place. But let something bad happen and all of a sudden you lose a lot of faith. So this situation that's just been standing still, it's giving you time. Again, there's this time of thinking, time of contemplating. The Fool card means next year it's time to take a risk, okay? You can't just hold on. Now, for some of you, you may receive money, okay? And you might sit for a long time with this money while you decide on what to do with it. And spirit guides are saying you're going to have to do something that's going to feel a little bit risky, but I kind of feel like that risk pays off, okay? I don't know, I just want one more. I feel like I need one more card for pile number 2 for 2025. Oh, Knight of Cups. So look, next year things are going to be a little bit slow. We've got 2 knights on either side of this. It's what I'm getting is slow and steady wins the race. So there is something that has potential for you next year. It may be a marketing, it may be something that you have to feel confident into doing. You might want to date someone that deals with marketing or books or written books or something like that. That is your soulmate. With the 2 knights here, neither one of those knights are fast moving. Okay, the Knight of Cups is trotting. The Knight of Pentacles is not moving at all. But both knights are not useless. The Knight of Pentacles is sitting with his pentacle and he's staring and he's thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. There's going to be a step forward in this next year. So someone is about to take a leap of faith. Now again, this could be you, this could be someone else. Okay, so whatever's been stagnant, I see it moving next year, but it's not going to be trotting off into a, the other 2 knights are very fast. These are slow knights. But the good news is something that has potential, something that perhaps you didn't think was ever going to happen because it's in the desert, could be a business idea. It does mean a risk. It does mean having a leap of faith. It starts to move next year, but it's not going to trot. It's not like you're going to become rich overnight. But again, there's this, I'm going to invest this into something that over time will become better, whether it be love, whether it be an investment, whether it be money, or whether it be a job. Okay, so I'm going to have one more reading for next year's love, just for those, because like I said, we do have soulmate here. Okay, so healing family issues. So your love benefits as you forgive your parents. So again, there is a lot of healing. There is a lot of forgiving people. You do have red flags. So this is paying attention to your red flags, because we all have red flags as well as the red flags of others. But again, I'm really getting that, past family stuff is still going to be affecting you. So, even if you are with a soulmate, if you don't forgive your parents for how they treated you, or forgive your parents in some way or form, it will affect your life next year. Okay, so there is still some kind of forgiveness in order to, move forward next year. But again, next year is really about taking the knowledge that you've learned this year into something better. So whether it's communication, or whether you got to tell people what you know, talk it out. Not caring what other people say. You're going to get knocked down, especially if you're saying things that people don't want to hear. Don't have to force the conversation, but have your say. Take a risk. Somehow next year, you need to take a bit of a risk. You need to take a bit of a gamble. So it could be the perfect job, the perfect investment, the perfect relationship, the perfect career for you. You've got to take a bit of a risk next year, okay? Do it slowly. Again, no one's saying jump off the cliff straight away, because we do have two things of just slow it down, or it will slowly pay off over a longer period of time, whatever that is for you. Okay, pile number 2, hopefully this resonated for you. If not, maybe this wasn't your pile, go back and choose a different card. And if so, please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you're wanting a reading, you can book with me. If not, I'll chat to you soon. Goodbye. Okay, so if you chose the yellow bubble or pile number 3, then this is your reading. So I'm going to be shuffling behind. It's just way too hot. I'm sweating. That's why there's a bit of a hum in the background. I hope you can still hear me. I really can't. It's either this, or I just wouldn't be able to do the reading. It's so hot. Okay, so pile number 3. The first thing we wanting to know is, what is your biggest lesson for 2024? What was your biggest lesson for 2024? I'm going to do a lot of bringing out a lot of the cards before I just sit and talk. But yeah, first card we want to know is, what was pile number 3's biggest lesson this year? What was the biggest lesson for this year? Okay. What was pile number 3's biggest challenge for this year? What was pile number 3's biggest challenge for this year? What was pile number 3's biggest challenge? What was pile number 3's biggest challenge? Okay. What was pile number 3's biggest blessing? What was the blessing for pile number 3? What is pile number 3's biggest blessing this year? And how is this year going to end for pile number 3? And can I have one card to the theme for pile number 3 for 2025? What is the theme for 2025? Okay, so, right, always interesting. Oopsie, I'm so sorry. Okay, so pile number 3. Your biggest lesson this year, perhaps for some of you, I'm just going to put it out there, was your children, okay, being a mother. Okay, so maybe that was your biggest lesson, was you had to focus on your children. For others, it was being nurturing. There's a lot of things here about nurturing yourself, nurturing your children, nurturing the people around you, learning how to be more compassionate to yourself, compassionate to others, learning how to open up your heart chakra. For a lot of you, this is a heart chakra year. You had to learn how to love, and a lot of us, I've got my book in the background there, and there's always a pile that I know I need to refer to my book. A lot of us have got old patterns, okay? We've been brought up in families where there's these old, stuck, stagnant patterns that have to be broken down, okay? Because we were taught to not cry. We were taught to not have emotions. We were taught, that you were weak if you cried. In fact, some of us were spanked if we cried. And so what happens is, a lot of people, we close down our hearts because it's easier to have emotions. It's easier to just shut down. And that might bring up problems, or you're not able to really manifest because, again, your heart chakra is closed. And so you're not able to connect to the highest vibrations of the world. So Deconstructing old patterns is breaking the chains to these old patterns and learning and realizing that you have these patterns and how to heal them. So that's what I'm getting a lot for pile number 3. This is the biggest lesson and challenge. Your challenge was that maybe you have someone in your life that challenged your compassion, that challenged your love, that challenged you in every which way throughout the year, and you battled to show compassion. You battled to deal with opening up your heart, and even if it's for yourself, maybe your self-love is very, very low, and you've had to really realize that, you know what, the biggest lesson you get from people that hurt you is, at the worst case, it teaches you how to love yourself. If no one else in this world can love you, if you at least love yourself, then you have the best person on your side, and that is you. Okay. Maybe you had to learn how to make your own money. Giving birth to new situations. What I'm getting is we've got the birth and we've got death in the same pile. So it's really, and death is so you might have experienced death this year. I apologize if you did. You may have given birth this year as well, again. But what I'm really getting here is learning that whatever ends, there's always a new, there's deeper transformation for you. I just kind of really feel like there's just so much transformational energy, learning that things come to an end, but when whatever closes, when God closes one door, he opens up another. And there's always a lesson from that closed door. And when you learn how to even send compassion to the worst people in this world. There's a lot of people in this world suffering. I mean, if you skip my whole intro, then maybe you want to listen to it, because hurt people hurt people. And again, I'm not stating, well, yes, that's awesome, they hurt me, I have to just let it go. No, understand that it's not nice what they've done, but learn the lesson as to why they're doing it. Try to see it from a compassionate side. What did they go through? Again, there's a huge difference between compassion and boundaries. You can still say to someone, look, what you said to me was unkind and untrue, and if you carry on treating me like that, I'm going to disconnect from you, but you can still do it with love. Instead of treating them the way that they treat you, instead of, the best karma is to heal yourself and move on, because in all honesty, hurting someone just brings you more bad karma, and then you just land up in these karmic trenches and these karmic patterns. So again, learning to go, look, I don't know what's happened to you in your life or what's made you pissy today, but I don't deserve to be spoken to like that. I don't deserve to be treated like that. And if you continue to do so, these are the consequences. However, I am compassionately trying to help you if I can, if you let me, okay? And just forgiving people who you might never get an apology from. Learning to do that is tough, but you've got to give yourself closure and forgiveness. This initiation that you're going through is quite important. It's really giving you such amount of deep knowledge. It's a deep healing. Perhaps there was more than anything, a year of the biggest blessing was the deepest healing you'll ever get, okay? And you may have felt like, well, this year, like nothing's happened. No, you don't even understand. Saint Germain is giving you the most amazing blessing. It's like you're becoming renewed. I mean, Saint Germain's also, he's a great god ascended master. Sorry, not God. He's an ascended master of alchemy. So he helps show you how you can turn metals into, turn things into metals. Alchemy, look, I understand alchemy kind of, but it's how to work with metals and to make something better, okay, make gold or diamonds or whatever. Alchemy is also, the alchemy energy, working with energy. He teaches, he's also meant to be the ascended master of the pure violet light, the pure violet flame, which burns out any negativity in your life, and learning how to only focus on the positive and the love. He helps you, he's also meant to have the elixir for youth, which is funny. Again, you die, you get reborn. So becoming youthful again, or feeling youthful again. Maybe you look different by the end of this year. Maybe you've stumbled upon some beauty product. I don't know. Everyone's different, okay? I'm just throwing it all out there. I'm just spewing out the information as I get it. The year ends for you on an interesting note with the Ace of Forces. The Akashic field means Everything you are needing is surrounding you. Again, anything that you want to birth into the new, it's surrounding you. And the interesting thing is that the theme for next year is the loving elementals, and that is just pure fun. Next year is fun. You've dealt with the serious stuff this year, and if you open up your heart, by next year, it's just going to be fun. Now, for some of you, again, you could be pregnant and you could be giving birth to a child next year. For others, it's just about, I don't know, next year, just having a lot of fun. Maybe less serious than what it has been this year. You got a lot of, again, we have this surrounding. There's a lot of energy that's surrounding you. Really amazing energy, okay? Sorry, I don't know what I did there. Hopefully I didn't disturb everything. Anyway, so yeah, let's get some love oracle for this year, and then I'll do one for next year. Do some oracle cards, and then I'll focus now more on next year. I just feel like more than anything this year, it was about nurturing yourself. Your biggest lesson was about nurturing yourself and just taking in the deep healing that you may have had to go through because of childhood experience, because of loss that you may have done. And maybe it's bringing you to your soul purpose. And I kind of feel like you might end this year with a little bit of knowledge. There's some kind of truth coming out. You're going to end this year with some divine truth. And it's going to give you more fun next year. Give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership, let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Again, you can't control. And then at the bottom of the deck, we've got worth waiting for. So you can't control what's going on. You could be a Taurus or a Scorpio, which is so interesting because, again, Scorpio and Taurus are both opposite signs on the scale, because one represents birth and the other one represents death. Very interesting. Very interesting. There's a lot of divine feminine energy here as well. So, the divine feminine is very much the motherly situation. Maybe the lessons about your mother, maybe it's seeing your mother in a compassionate light. Maybe you've got issues with your mother, deep-rooted issues. This is something that, when you work on in the surface, you may not realize it, but, again, doesn't have to be bad, but there's still some kind of healing or seeing your mother in a more of a compassionate light. But there's something about you learning to work on things, your love life. Maybe you try to control the situation. Maybe you had a controlling mother, and so you try to control the person in your love life, and learning to just, work on things, learning to let go of control issues, learning to allow things in life, anything that you can't control, just to let go and allow it just to be, okay? Right, let's see. Awakening, yeah, I'm definitely getting, look at that, energetic upgrades. This is what this death card is saying. It's the same thing. You are awakening. The Akashic field also shows perhaps, maybe you need to go and do a bit of Akashic readings, or meditate into the Akashic readings. It just feels like, yeah, all the past, this woman's floating. Okay, she's floating because she feels light. Think about it. A feather floats, it drifts down. It doesn't fall. Something heavy drops. When a feather is light, so it's almost like you are releasing everything that's been holding you down. It's like you are just letting go. Look how she's literally just sitting there and letting it all go. Her arms are dropped, her hair is dropped. She is floating because she is so surrounded by, again, we've got this energetic field, this knowledge, this understanding of the world that other people, you may be highly intuitive and not be able to explain to people, like, I just know things. I can't explain it to you. I just know it. 1111 on the thing, just a sign. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It may not feel like it this year, but it's going to be worth it. Right, so let's go into next year. Let's go have a sneak peek. Give me some cards. What is this loving elementals about? 333, just seeing that sound for you, which is also interesting, that 3 loving elements, 3 people, having fun with your friends, joy, celebration. Give me more. Next year, 2025 for group number 3. 2025, please, Spirit. Union, reunion, that's what I'm getting. Wow, Knight of Wands. Things stepping up, adventure. Time to take an adventure next year. Again, we've got more fun, we've got adventure, we've got riding passionately into something, you know, deciding what you want and going after it, you know, with great speed. You know, the Knight of Wands is fast, very fast moving energies, okay? So something's coming in at great speed next year. So again, if this year things have been stagnant and, you know, not very fast, because next year it's speeding up. Okay. Now there could be still fighting and drama, unfortunately. Okay, you can't have everything good. But I don't think it's going to last. I think you've learned compassion. Now that's coming out, and this wants to come out. Oh wow. Okay. So again, we've got this energy. I kind of feel like these need to go together. I'll get one more card for this one here to understand it. But the Magician, again, we're talking about alchemy. The Magician has alchemy. He's got all the elements on the table. He's got the wand of passion to go after what he wants. He's got the sword of truth, which you've got there with the Akashic field. Okay, so we've got a lot of repeating energies here. He's got the cup of love, which is that of opening the heart chakra, and the grounded energy of the coin, in order to bring about what he is wanting. Now, there may have been something in between what you've been wanting. Something has stopped, fighting, selfishness, drama. I kind of feel like it's going to passionately moving over, because there's a wish fulfillment. You don't see it coming though. You definitely don't see this wish fulfillment coming in. It's like something you deeply wanted next year will be coming, but it's at the moment you cannot see what's coming in. You definitely can't see it. And let's have the card to see. Yeah, and the reason why you don't see it coming is again, we've got another card there of gaining enlightenment. You know, this is the hanged man. He's hanging upside down and he's gaining enlightenment. If you ever see pictures or of a lot of like the gods or the ascended masters, you will often see a light surrounding their head. You know, if you're Christian, you'll see it with Jesus. Jesus gained enlightenment while he was on the cross. You know, he had this aha moment. He started to realize his purpose for being in this world and the purpose for going after what he wanted. And here it's with the high priestess, it's also, you know, we've got a lot about, you know, like the Torah and the cross and bearing the cross, bearing the heaviness. But the pomegranates are also, you know, that about birth and rebirth, but it's also really about knowledge, intuition, knowing, being in the pillars. You know, it's just it's like this highest energy of information with that Akashic field there. Yeah, there's huge spiritual awakening, and it's kind of, again, it's where your focus has had to be. And I mean, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 10 of Cups, we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the Queen, the King of Pentacles. It just kind of feels like next year, again, we've got happy families giving birth, having children, brand new beginning, joy, love, new love for some of you. And it's with the King of Pentacles, it's something that's very solid, that's for next year. So yeah, I just kind of feel like next year's a lot more lighter. You don't see it, but one of your wishes, you know, maybe it's the wish of always being a mom, comes true next year, to finally have a family or be a family, for being with something you've been manifesting. So this year you've manifested something, and I kind of feel like you'll see it next year, and it's coming in fast. Okay. Right, I'm just going to get one more for love for next year, just for those that want to see what next year. So stay optimistic. Okay, so the more positive you are this year, the more faith you have. Some of you, you need to release an ex, unfortunately, and that's exactly it. It's almost like you did not realize. Again, there's this ending and getting some kind of truth. Maybe you finally get some kind of truth or clarity or closure on something that ended for you, something that's been holding you back, something that maybe you were holding on to. I kind of feel like the minute you let that go, again, we have got this fight. As I said, there is something that's been in between you and what you've been wanting to manifest. There's something there. You have to release something, okay? And if you release it, it brings in a wish fulfillment. It brings in, your intuition knows everything that needs to happen, okay? It brings in family, love, solid, grounded energy for you next year. So I do really feel like there's a lot for you to celebrate next year, pile number 3. This year was really about spiritual awakening. It was really about just becoming lighter, having more love, having love and more compassion for yourself, learning how to give birth, learning how to nurture those around you, how to see people in love and light no matter what they've done to you, learning how to break the chains. Maybe for some of you, learning, about your children, or spending, most of this year looking after children, okay? Again, if this doesn't resonate, then this wasn't your pile. And if none of them resonate, then I'm sorry. I can't help you. Anyway, if it does, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll chat to you soon. Goodbye.